Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello, hiya, hello, hello. How's
Riley
it
was a
going?
bad dog.
Why the fuck? What did I do?
Honestly, I just wanted like a punchy beginning, and then you weren't a bad dog. You were a good doggy.
Yay! This is a roller coaster of appraisal and denouncement.
I
Uh,
mean, like,
I mean, like what?
I don't know.
It's one of those days.
It was one of those days.
It's one of those days. Well, how's everyone doing in the world? I said that like there's supposed to be a response.
Yes, no.
the
There's
the live studio audience. The live
the
studio
live studio
audience.
audience. The secret agents listening in on the call.
I should edit in some sort of applause. I'm not actually gonna do that, but like it'd be funny. Just imagine it. Imagine.
I imagined it for a moment,
That's
and it
funny.
wasn't that funny.
Oh, you didn't need to you didn't need to tell me that. You could have just like gassed me up and like made me think I was funnier than I am.
Why I could,
You
but
could. Beats
the
it.
world is going insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's hold off on politics for a quick bit though and talk about what we've been up to. You know? I feel like
Well,
we jump
you
into politics so quickly. I want to ease people into it. You
want
know?
to ease people into it. I want to get it
Yeah.
over with.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
But
yeah.
you have been playing Vampire the Masquerade
I
Bloodlines. Such a
have
well-made game.
such a
So much
wonderful game.
polish.
Yeah, I think we've talked about. I think Jade has probably mentioned World of Darkness on the podcast before, like at some point.
Hmm.
But tabletop RPG series and the game Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines is a video game version of it that Jade has been telling me to play for probably since we met. Um,
We
and I
played old games when we met.
yeah yeah and I've been playing it past like 2 weeks or so. I'm near the end. I'm in Chinatown, which is like near the end, right?
Yeah,
It's the
it's
final
the
hub
final
world. Yeah.
area you unlock technically, but I don't know if I'd say it's that close to the end. There's a good amount of stuff to do still.
All right, all right.
Or should I just remember like a good amount of stuff to do?
Well, yeah, I'm at like the final area, the final hub area. Um, it's been a lot of fun. I've loved the openness of it, the exploration, the world design and stuff. It's been a lot of fun to play. The actual
The music.
the music is great. Combat's fun. The actual construction of the game, insane. The game is put together with twine and sticks. I've made more structurally sound projects when I make sand castles at the beach. Like it is ridiculous how it's not even crashes. The game's never crashed, but I've gotten
I
stuck on
mean,
level geometry
it's crashed.
all the time.
That was the
It crashed.
first
Yeah,
problem, wasn't it?
it crashed when we were trying to initially get the
Like
game to work.
90,000 times.
Yeah, when we initially tried to get the game to work, it crashed like a million times, even after downloading the official patch. In fact, I actually only tried to launch it once without the
Unofficial.
official. So the unofficial patch. Sorry, I only ever tried to launch it once without the unofficial patch. And it crashed. And then with the unofficial patch, it crashed like 11 more times. Just on trying to create a character, like just on hitting new character and all that. Like
Yeah.
it was a
The game
ridiculous
crashed.
yeah, it was a ridiculous amount of crashing, but eventually it did work. And I never crashed since it started working. I don't even remember what I did to fix it, honestly. But my main issue has been getting soft locked, me not being able to interact with characters, doors not opening, levels not
The
loading.
doors are a repeating joke, though.
Yeah, they are a repeating joke. They're very funny. Where you get stuck on them after accidentally walking too quickly, getting like backing up into a door that's opening, and then wind up getting clipped into it and stuck. There are some levels. I just did the level where you go
The
down into
final
the
boss is the
sewers.
doors where you have to reload 9 times because of a door and not because of the actual boss at the end of level.
Yeah, I did the sewers where you have to go and find the Nosferatu,
The sewers
and
were a special game.
that was ridiculous. There were so many parts where I could not do the parkour because the game's just broken. So I just turned on no clip and finished the parkour segments. And it was like I did all the combat and stuff. I did all that without cheating, but like some of those jumps are just like impossible to do with the controls. It was a little ridiculous. Like just the game is not very well constructed. And then when I actually got to the Nosferatu home, the entirety of like the water was completely fucked. Like just the graphics of it, like it was glowing red, like there was a texture that was being reflected and just glowing red or some shit. I don't know. Oh, water in general just doesn't work in that game. Like in the sewer levels, you're trying to it's either doesn't work or it's not really well communicated what's happening. But like if you get caught in like a current, I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to move like around slower or not, but I'm just not able to move at all. So like I'm caught in it, and the only way to get out of it is to just die or reload. Like that doesn't seem like that's what's supposed to happen. That just doesn't seem fair at
Mm,
all. I don't know.
yeah,
It's very broken,
it's an
but
infamous level for a
but
reason.
it's so much fun. Like in any other game, if there was a level that bullshit, I probably would have stopped playing and never picked it back up. Like there have been games that I've enjoyed playing but gotten to a part that I found was bullshit, like Metro 2033, where I just never picked the game back up after it. Like I love Metro, I was having so much fun with it. But there was a part where I didn't have any ammo and I had to do a whole segment where I had to go through a whole crowd of people, a crowd of enemies and stuff, and I was just like, you know, I don't actually want to do this. I don't care about the game that enough to brute force my way through this, so I'm just gonna put down Metro and come back to it some other time and maybe do a new playthrough or something. Because, like, I don't know, I didn't want to do that. But with Vampire the Masquerades, I got to bullshit parts and was like, I'm gonna fucking brute force this. I'm gonna make it through it because I actually enjoy this game and want to see it to its conclusion.
You can also see why I wouldn't have blamed you for just putting it down there because like a lot of
Yeah,
people didn't really like progress beyond that. They were just like that's why it's infamous because it's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I got to the sewer level and that's the last I saw of the game. The game has like 4 endings.
yeah. I'm excited to get to the end of it. I feel like I've gotten past the part that's gonna be the worst with that sewer level because that's the part that you were saying like this is infamous. Like this is the part that's like, ooh, whoa, ooh.
It's not even the most broken part.
Really? Yeah, really.
There's a mission later on where eventually you're escaping out of a cave,
Right.
and the mission exit is in the official release of the game known to be just broken.
Ah,
It just crashes.
okay. Well, hopefully the unofficial batch fixes that.
Yes,
Um,
the unofficial. Like I had to learn this in like 2004.
yeah, that's a long time ago.
Like the internet wasn't what it is today. The shit wasn't just like out there.
21 years ago. Um,
God,
but
no.
the one part about Vampire the Masquerade that does piss me off that I don't ever want to do is that one side mission with the zombies in the graveyard.
All right.
You have to prevent there's like a it's like a zombies keep coming up out of the ground in a graveyard, and there's two doors and they're banging on the doors and you can't let them get out, and there's like an invisible health bar on the doors that you don't actually know how much progress it is. It doesn't like I don't know what qualifies them getting out, if it's the amount of zombies at the door or if it's the amount of damage done to the door, if the damage is reset after the zombies die, like, and it's 5 minutes of this, and and there's just so many of them that it's just like you got to get lucky, right? You just got to get lucky. Like I did the same approach 2 times in a row. One time I got to 30 seconds left, and one time I got to like 2.5 minutes left. 2.5 minutes left. So it's like it's really like up in the air and whether or not like you succeed that. And I just didn't see it was worth it at all, so I just didn't do the side quest. Fuck that. Yeah, it
Yeah,
sucked.
no, it's not an easy quest.
Yeah, no, I honestly can see myself never doing that. Maybe if I had guns. Maybe if I had guns, it'd be better because then I could like shoot
Character with
instead of
more
have to
level
get
than
up.
guns.
Yeah, instead of
I know
like
exactly what would make that mission so much easier, though.
what is it?
if you ever do like pick the game up again for a fresh new playthrough, right?
Yeah.
You could pick a class like Bruja,
Yeah.
and that gives you celerity as one of the powers.
What does celerity do?
Makes you super speedy.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. Super speed would
And
be
you
good
get
there.
potence, which makes your hits hit 10 times harder.
Yeah, then that would be good. It would be good to have the speed and the strength of that. That would be good. I can imagine guns doing good too because you'd be able to shoot them, so you don't have to run all the way there. You could just shoot them and then run to the other one and
Yeah,
shoot.
well, I imagine that in universe, the character who does it usually, what's his name?
Romero,
Romero.
yeah, he's got a gun.
Yeah. He uses I imagine he uses a gun like in
He
universe.
gives you a shotgun that he uses, like a
Not
unique
even a long
shotgun.
range gun.
Yeah, he gives you a unique gun.
So if this like human dude can run around and do it, I'm
Yeah,
sure the vampire
more respect to him
can.
for being able to put down like a million zombies a night.
Well
Well
done,
done.
Romero.
But yeah, Vampire the Masquerades. I recommend it if you have a high tolerance for old game bullshit. Um,
The thing is, it's there is a lot of that, but it's also like broken game bullshit.
yeah, it's broken game and it's also like old game because a lot of the crashing is definitely due to the fact that it's not on the right hardware. It's on like new hardware, so it's like I don't know where I am. Die. Um, but it's also the fact that the game is just poorly made. So I feel like a lot of the times the best games ever are ones that are incredibly poorly made. Like Fallout New Vegas. Like I love Fallout New Vegas, but you cannot play that game without a patch, without the 4 GB patch, because you can't play it. My game was literally bricked for a year because I was like stuck. I was stuck in the Vicky and Vance casino on this character that I get every now and then I would load up and try to exit the Vicky Vance casino to see if it would be like maybe it's fixed
You're
now,
under a lot of
and it would
pressure.
always crash. I had to delete the game and re-download it and everything. Delete every mod.
I never had a lot of crashes on Fallout New Vegas.
Were you playing on? I'm assuming you're playing on PC.
Yeah,
Hmm. I always
I
played New
played
Vegas on 360, and I
out of the
crashed a lot.
Bethesda games. I played Morrowind on PC, Oblivion on PC, and New Vegas on PC.
Uh, I always played them on 360.
Played 3, Fallout 3 on PC,
Hmm.
and I played Skyrim on PS3.
Oh, when
Like
did?
Skyrim
Yeah,
specifically, I played on PS3.
interesting. I'm pretty sure PS3 Skyrim is the most broken version of the game. I think the PS3
Never
versions in
had an
general.
issue.
I think the PS3 versions in general are well, because Skyrim's not that broken of a game, honestly. Like if you're comparing Skyrim to like New Vegas or Fallout 3 or
To
whatever,
be fair,
it's not
I
that broken.
probably got a much more patched up version of the game considering I had Legendary.
That's true. Also, yeah,
That number 667 of the 982
yeah,
re-releases of Skyrim.
yeah.
I had the
Um,
Legendary Edition
yeah.
version.
The issue I still think the most buggy Bethesda game is New Vegas. That game just straight up does not work sometimes. And then Fallout
Yeah,
3
it
is
worked fine
probably
for me.
Fallout 3 is probably I've always had issues with Bethesda games. Like I'd be playing Fallout New Vegas a lot and all of a sudden my Xbox would just go and
Okay,
then it
but
just yeah.
Xbox was not like no.
Yeah, but it also happened
Back
on
when those
PC.
came out. Yeah, it doesn't happen on PC for me though.
Lucky, man. Lucky. You're just
Like
lucky.
all the crashes, all the weird bugs that people get, I generally didn't get a lot of those.
You're lucky. I'm prone to them. Though I never really get bugs in other games. It's always Bethesda games where all my bugs occur. Because, like, when I played Cyberpunk, granted I played Cyberpunk after it was fixed and all that, when I played Cyberpunk, I came across zero glitches. And that game is more infamous for glitches than New Vegas is. But New Vegas, fucking. Maybe it's because I've played so much New Vegas, too. Because I've played New Vegas a lot. I easily have, like, several hundred
I
hours in New
played New
Vegas.
Vegas. I played New Vegas a lot. I also played Oblivion a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm comparing it to my hours in Cyberpunk. Like, I've played a lot more hours in New Vegas than I have Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, but I've also had a lot more time to put hours into things. My lots of hours is different from yours.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. I the bad games, like I don't know, like people the big one of the big pieces of discussion with like modern gaming is the fact that like every game releases unfinished. But like the more I like think about it, there's always been games that have been completely unfinished, but nowadays, like when a game's unfinished, it's like unfinished in a different way. Like back then, it's like the game is complete. There's a full game here. A lot of cut content, yeah, but there's like a full
You were
game
born what
here.
year?
2004. Yeah, Halo 2, Half-Life 2, Doom 3, San Andreas,
Halo 2, not even the first one.
Fable,
Burnout 3. Like, look at how many sequels existed the year you were born.
Battle for Bikini Bottom,
Fable's
Hitman
new
Cut.
though.
Why are you making me feel like a baby?
Like, look, the game we were just talking about.
Yeah, it's older than me. It came out like several months before I was born. Yeah, 101, June 1st or January 1st.
Date between. We can only see one.
Oh, date
So
between.
in the
Okay, my bad. You can just click on the
obviously,
Wikipedia
oh,
article. That's not the Wikipedia article. The
where's
one on the
it?
left. There you go. No, oh, it's actually I'm older than it by a month. By a month
You are
exactly.
1 month older than the game, which means you were already conceived. Your parents did not conceive you to the soundtrack to this game.
Don't say that. Don't.
That is a true fact,
It
though.
is a true fact. You can know what is by what is not.
But they could have conceived you to the soundtrack of Halo 1.
Oh, that's awesome.
You could have been conceived to the soundtrack of Halo 1. But don't worry, I also looked this up.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Link to the Past,
Duke
Street Fighter
Nukem.
2, Duke Nukem, The Simpsons, Final Fantasy 4, Lemmings, WWF
Yoshi.
WrestleMania, Yoshi, oh, the Home Alone NES game, that awful fucking piece of shit. Bill and Ted's excellent video game. Wow, oh, Civilization 1.
Oh
Civ 1.
god.
Civ 1 and Sonic, your two favorite things.
I fucking...
And Battletoads. Why is Battletoads the headline of 1991? Over Sonic, Link to the Past, and Street Fighter 2. And Mega Man, I guess Mega Man 4 is
Didn't
like
you say
whatever.
like Link to the Past was one of your favorites though?
Link to the Past is one of my favorites.
So 1991 is like, you know,
Yeah, and I like
it's
Street
much
Fighter.
older than Vampire.
Yeah, yeah. I like Street Fighter 2 a lot also. Look up 2001 because that's the year David was born. I'm pretty sure Halo came out in 2001. Get game
2001.
Gaze released 2001. And we can really see here who had the best year. It's probably going to be 2001. Because you had, GTA 3, Smash Melee, Final Fantasy X, Halo 1, Silent Hill 2, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of good years. Clive Barker's Undying.
Wow. SSX Tricky.
Clive Barker's Undying. Eco. Devil May Cry.
Is this the one I like?
No, that's from like 2014. This is the first
Okay.
Devil May Cry game.
Baldur's Gate
A
2.
Baldur's Gate 2, Golden Sun, Civ 3, Command and
Command and
Conquer. Ooh. Command and Conquer.
Yuri's Revenge.
This is the expansion pack for Red Alert 2. Yeah, I think David's got
Nancy Drew.
go back
Nancy
up
Drew.
Nancy Drew. Go back up to the top because I think David's got the most stacked here.
Stronghold.
Stronghold. David's definitely got the most.
Yeah, Stronghold.
Yeah, and also there was Ace Attorney.
Shenmue 2.
Shenmue 3. Or Shenmue 2, sorry. And Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Yeah, so David's got the most stacked here for
And
sure.
Silent Hill 2. I
Yeah.
only saw this now.
And Jack and Daxter.
And the first Halo.
Yeah, I said all of this.
Yeah, but David with the first Halo and you
And I
were
was
the second Halo.
Yeah, I was. And then my brother was the third Halo because he was born in 2007. Actually, what the fuck? What year did Halo 4 come out? Because that came out in 2010. Okay, never mind that. My brother is not the fourth Halo. My other brother's not the fourth Halo.
But Silent Hill 2 is pretty legit.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2, Melee, GTA 3, Final Fantasy 10, Halo 1. This is a stacked year. This is a stacked year for sure.
This is like tricky also, just like Dark Alliance, Batman Vengeance, Crash Bandicoot. This is
The Wrath of
third
Cortex.
One. This is the really... Isn't it? No.
It was first released for
No,
PS2
this is
and
the
later.
second one.
Nice, so then
This
Crash
is...
2 is also David's here.
That's damn good. I am right though, right?
It looks like it'd be a third game,
No.
not a second game.
No. This is like one of the fake ones.
One of the fake games.
The ones that weren't made by Naughty Dog.
Well,
Yeah,
Traveler's Tales. Those are the Lego guys.
Yeah.
They make the Lego games.
Yeah. They made this Crash game, but they didn't have... Yeah, they also made Twinsanity.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, yeah.
We gotta do the painful stuff.
We gotta talk about politics now. So I want to talk about one that happened just after we recorded the last episode. Or not just after we recorded, but after the last one went up on Friday of last week. The mayor of Newark was arrested for trespassing on an ICE detention facility. So the mayor of Newark, not New York, Newark, New Jersey, Ras Baraka,
yeah,
Democrat.
It's not just their New Jersey accent.
Newark, yeah, Newark. And people who are from Newark pronounce it as Newark. Newark. Go up to Newark. That's how it's pronounced by locals, Newark.
God, does language mean anything anymore?
Newark. My mom has a worse accent than I do. Oh, look in the mirror. Open up a drawer. Look in the mirror. I want to put on a horror movie.
You should make an accent redeem.
An accent? Well, that's the thing though. Like, I don't think I could consciously slip into it unless like I really like interact with someone whose accent's thicker than mine for like a day. You know?
Yeah, but you live with your mother.
Yeah.
Just imitate her.
That's fair. That's
like
true.
5 minutes.
I can't be.
Her for like
the
5
thing
minutes.
is, she's incredibly loud, and you can't imitate her without being loud. That's the thing. In order to get the Jersey accent out, I have to be loud, like really loud, like not trying to like be quiet and
believe
stuff.
in you being able to do it.
I don't think I can.
But they arrested him.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. Ras Baraka, he's running for governor, or he's running in the primary for governor of New Jersey.
So this happened right after the podcast.
This happened on the podcast. He is out, yes. Here's the body cam footage of him being arrested, by the way, because it's actually kind of fucking scary as hell. It's 3 minutes, but we can start when they actually grab him.
Yeah, like how bad?
Oh, how bad is it? It's nothing violent, but here's him. That's him here with the hat on. This is federal authorities. I don't know why all the faces are blurred. The one I originally saw did not have all the faces blurred, but I could not find it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Slaves costume work.
So they grab him, and this is them bringing him inside. All these like ice, like, pardon if this is rude, tub of lards, ICE officers, actual pigs, barely able to fit in their vests as their fat peeks out over it. Also dressed in plain clothes over here with like balaclavas on and shit. This looks like a a Russian secret police guy who appears in Central, like Asia or like fucking Crimea, to disappear political dissidents. Um,
Yeah, this doesn't look like police.
no, this is like a little Russian green man who's in like Georgia or like Azerbaijan or some shit. Like that is not an American. This is them, yeah, dragging in Raz Baraka. You can see that they're just wearing, these are like plain clothes ass people. They're like deputizing people, anyone they can, to like be an ICE officer who's going to like fucking arrest the mayor of Newark for protesting the ICE detainment facility. So yeah, then they bring him in. So the thing, he was protesting the fact that I think they tell the name of it. Yeah, Delaney Hall. Yeah, it's a prison that was converted into a ICE detention facility, and it has a max capacity of like 1,000 people, and it's an old building, so there are structural concerns. And Raz Baraka, along with Robert Menendez, LaMonica McIver, and Bonnie Watson Coleman, who are three House reps from New Jersey, representing like the area, like the Newark, Jersey City, Trenton area. I believe, yeah, he's Newark, or he's Jersey City and Newark. She's like the outskirts of Newark, and then she's Trenton. So, these the three House reps. They all went there to protest, and investigate. To go, they wanted to see inside of the facility, and ICE arrested Baraka. He was released, but he's returning to court tomorrow. About that, and he actually returned to the facility to get let in, and they actually did let him in to like see the facility normally, and that you can see in a tweet. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it must have been a different article. Hold on, I think that was in the News 12 New Jersey thing. News 12.
Well, in a way, they did kind of show him the inside, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess they did. Yeah, because they did drag him inside. They arrested him by bringing him inside.
So then they did exactly what he wanted.
Yeah,
Just,
they
what's
changed
malicious
the.
compliance, right?
Yeah, malicious compliance. I don't know what happened. It was originally in this article that had the thing, but they changed the tweet here. It used to be a tweet of him walking inside peacefully, but now it's this. Today, the U.S. Attorney General's office chose to move forward with the trial over trespassing at Delaney Hall. Oop. While the charges were unwarranted, we will fight this. Great. Yeah, because so he's being charged by the federal government for trespassing by the U.S.
They
Attorney
dragged him
General.
inside.
They dragged him inside. Yeah, but he was like, when he was arrested for trespassing, he was just outside of the. He was just outside. He wasn't even like inside or anything.
Yeah, so like it's a bit severe to arrest him for trespassing at that point.
Yeah, yeah. They should not have arrested
A
him. It's an
government
unjust charge.
official,
Yeah. Um,
the mayor,
I'm pretty sure they
and
also.
this is,
I'm pretty sure they
a
also beat up
public
Robert
facility.
Menendez. I'm pretty sure they also beat up Robert Menendez. Like they punched it. They roughed him up a bit, from what I heard.
I'm
Um,
not surprised.
yeah. Um,
I will say though, like as you say, they're already dressed like fascists. You don't need to like be mean about the bigness. People be big.
People do be piggy. Yeah, this one's it's an old story, but I wanted to cover it because this is like local politics to me.
I say that, but at the same time, there was that joke about the Afrikaners.
Which joke?
It's the fattest refugees we've ever seen.
Yeah, no, they're the most plump, healthy eating refugees. And speaking of them, so we move on from local politics to me, like things that hit home for me. We have things that are relevant to Jade. This is a very relevant episode, huh?
I see Trump there. It sounds relevant to you. Considering they're your problem now, we don't want them back.
Yeah, so uh yeah, Trump is even though Trump ended the refugee program in America, like accepting refugees, we still accepted some white South Africans, specifically Afrikaners. So Jay, do you want to explain this one?
Bunch of racist people fucked off. They're your problem now.
God damn it. So
You
I
thought
wanted you
that
to
you
explain
thought the
context.
Dems, like Elon Musk is out there tweeting that the Democrats are importing votes. Trump literally taking in like
So
middle
his tweet
class
is just the
white
first of
people.
what the
Most racist people
Administration
alive.
says is going to be a much
Yeah.
I
larger
do see what
number
Dan Quarter meant by the most fattest
of white South Africans who are
refugees.
Look at these
eligible and
people. They
doing
eat well,
business in the
right?
United
These are
States
these are the refugees. They're
under
coming
a
in
program
like
that the
average
administration
American
has
like diets.
suspended for
What is he
virtually
wearing?
99% of the rest of the world. It is highly unusual for a group like these people.
So yeah, so the reason why they're over here as refugees is
Wait,
I think we've talked about
I
like
want to see. I want to see what
sorry.
they say.
Sorry.
Attention, and he prioritized their processing under this program.
Look
And
at these
so,
people. Look
within
at that
three
kid.
months of him saying that, these people, this group of about 50, has already arrived while um, asylum seekers, refugee status seekers in other countries, notably Afghanistan, throughout the Middle East, Syria, other parts of sub-Saharan Africa, are still not able to even be processed because the program remains suspended for the vast majority of the world.
The president made it clear that Afrikaners in South Africa who were the victims
Vosh
of
pointed this out on his stream, but he's wearing the Thai
Yeah.
colors of the apartheid South African flag.
Oh my goodness, that's so evil.
just racial
That's
discrimination.
actually evil.
Be welcome to come to the United States.
He's also wearing the colors of the
and
Mets,
he's
so it
now
could be the
delivering
Mets.
on that promise.
Typically,
Do you
someone
really
who is
think?
granted
Nah, I don't know.
refugee status
It's a
or
very
admitted to the
interesting
United
choice of
States under
tie.
the refugee program will be eligible to apply for U.S. citizenship after a certain period of time.
But look at
It
them.
varies depending on the
They're
circumstances,
doing
but
fine.
Yeah.
these people, if they decide that they want to
So the
stay,
reason why they're considered refugees, I think we've talked about Afroforum before on the
But don't they look
podcast.
like they'd fit in
Oh,
Appalachia over there?
they'd fit in Idaho so well. They're going straight to like Ohio or some shit. So yeah, the reason why they're being considered targets of a genocide and refugees is because of the myth of the white genocide in South Africa with the farm murders and all that. And it's something that Elon Musk is heavily pushing, and it's something that we've been seeing Trump talk about since he got inaugurated because of Elon Musk. But there's the accusation that the South African government, led by the ANC, is genociding Afrikaner farmers in an attempt to gain their land and stuff.
They're doing a horrible job of it if that's what they're doing.
I know. So yeah, even though Iraq, Afghanistan, and other African countries have not been able to have their refugees come to
People who are
America,
being persecuted
people who
for
are
working with the American government.
yeah, people who are being persecuted by the Taliban or being persecuted by whatever the fuck is going on in Iraq, all because of American involvement, by the way. And most countries in sub-Saharan Africa, who are more, eligible for a refugee program, especially now that USAID has been cut to those countries. So white South Africans are now prioritized. And again, this is because of the myth of the farm murders. So they go into detail down here. There are around 2.7 million Afrikaners among South Africa's population of 62 million, which is more than 80% black. Many in South Africa are puzzled by why they claim to be persecuted. So, farmer tax, here we go. Trump and his South African board advisor, Elon Musk, have accused the South African government of having racist, anti-white laws and policies, but the claims of persecutions and genocide center on relatively small number of violent farm attacks and robberies on white people in rural communities. So, South Africa has a huge crime problem. Jade, you can attest to
we have
this.
a massive crime problem. Like, in general, everybody, all the time, every place.
And
crime is right.
They mentioned down here, groups representing farmers have been recorded around 50 or less homicides on farms a year in the last 2 years in South Africa. Those figures are set against a total of more than 20,000 homicides a year affecting all races. So with 20,000 murders a year, 50 of them are against farmers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just for example, you know how you pointed out your Gestapo over there in the US?
Yeah.
Just Google South African police. Take a look at what they look like.
I think we've talked about this off podcast before with like Sadiq and stuff.
Yeah.
I like the blue. I will say that. I really like the blue.
But this is not what you even see on the street. Like, That's not really what you see. That's more what you see.
Is that a fucking... What is that gun? That's a
Look,
doohickey.
it's
Oh,
bringing
it's a
up a
shot.
lot of
It's a
things. I'm
shotgun
not.
upside down.
You're bringing up a lot of pictures of like riots and stuff. Like
Well, I
this
typed
is
in
not what
South
you
African
see every
police.
day.
I typed in South African
I
police.
know, but I'm like noticing how much of this is just like riots and stuff. I'm just wondering if it has something to do with an algorithm of some kind.
Definitely. Whenever you type in police, I'm sure if I type in American police, I can get some like shit like this too.
I don't know.
Yeah, riot
Look at that
guards.
glory shots. Yeah, but look at the how many glory shots you have of just
Yeah,
like
but
friendly
also we
looking
do
neighborhood
get
police.
plenty of like guys with big guns. Like it's like a very much like this is what cops do. When you think of a cop, you think of cop with gun, you know. Though
Yes, you
there are
do.
a lot more like glory shots. This is fucking criminal, by the way. This should not be a thing. This is like actually some like shit you'd see in like a fucking Marvel movie, like in Daredevil Born Again or something, to show how like evil the cops are and stuff. And it's like, ha, look at that. Like we're pointing at the system to show. And it's like, all right, that's a little kind of
Yeah, but
crazy,
that's how
really.
they
But then
used
it's
to
like they
dress them
actually
in like
are. They actually are like that.
dystopian cyberpunk TV shows from the
Exactly.
80s and 90s.
What is this? History of the American police officer. I
It's
do love,
unironically the police from Mirror's Edge.
literally, I do love this though, how it's like, the police officer with his coat and everything, all of a sudden in like the 2000s, it's just fucking riot gear, big gun and shit. And I do love that. I know this is supposed to glaze the cops, but that's just so funny. I was just like, the militarism ramp up is so fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
shit's scary.
Uh, well, yeah, there's no data that backs up. There's no data at all that backs that there is a persecution of white South Africans or white Afrikaners in particular. South African Foreign Minister Ronald Lamola said white farmers get attacked by crime just like any other South Africans.
Yeah. That's it. Is
Affirmative
that,
action to reverse racism.
but speaking of Elon
Oh, here's
Musk
here's this as
whispering,
well. Not the only racial minority in South Africa. So yeah, Afrikaners always. Am I wrong in saying that the myth of the farm raiders is specifically pointed at Afrikaners and not white South Africans in general?
yes. So
Okay.
here's the thing, is that when it comes to the farmers, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the Afrikaans word for farmer,
Boer.
which is boer.
Boer.
That's specifically who the cultural group. I won't even say ethnic, even though it is white people. The cultural group of Afrikaners were the ones who did apartheid.
Yeah.
Like literally, the word apartheid is an Afrikaans word meaning apart, keeping people apart.
Yeah.
Apartheid.
Yeah.
Like the English speaking white minority in South Africa. Yes, okay, look, they're as racist as like generally white people can be, you know?
Yeah.
But they're not like ethno state.
Yeah.
Like
Like the cultural surrounding of like British descendants is not the same as like Afrikaners who have, or like a racist Afrikaner is like a competitive racist, or like a racist British South African is like a casual racist.
yeah, sort of like, oh, you know, we are the empire civilization. And if we didn't come around, you know, who knows what would have happened. But look, things aren't so bad now, are they?
Are there Afrikaners who hold resentment over the Boer Wars, over the Boer Wars and stuff? Are there people who still like
Yes,
fucking? Oh my god, really? I mean, the British
yes.
did do some awful shit, but
How do
like,
you think places like Oranje exist?
yeah, exactly. Actually, I saw that in the Dan Quarter video. In the comments, someone was like, "Why don't they just go to Oranje?"
Because like the government doesn't harass Oranje.
Exactly. The they should have gone to Israel. Israel would have loved them.
Yeah, a lot of
Israel
them are
is
Zionists, but a lot
Israel
of them are
really needs.
anti-Semitic.
Oh, that leads us into our next thing. Yeah. So this So I have the Bulwark here. I don't know much about the Bulwark. I don't know what they are really. I couldn't really do too much. American Cthulhu, staring into the abyss. That is the people. All right, I'm on their side. I'm on their side. So
Who knows?
I have this from the Bulwark. An Afrikaner refugee has thoughts about the Jews. So this is a little deep dive into the politics of one of the people chosen for the refugees.
Charles Kleinhaus
Charles
is the
Charles
person.
Kleinhaus.
What a prick.
Mr. Kleinhaus was part of the initial trance of 59 Afrikaners. He has 2 thumbs, a Twitter account, and a lot of opinions. Here's some of his more, as they say, garden variety MAGA, despite being a South African citizen. He has a tweet of him here saying that Trump is his hero. He has an AI photo of Trump in a Springbok uniform, the rugby team of South Africa.
Oh, it's so painful. That is so painful. Considering how Nelson Mandela tried to make the Springboks like an image of the Rainbow Nation, South Africa.
Exactly, yeah. We have an
It's
AI
Keanu
image.
doing
He's
it.
got an edited image of Keanu holding up a shirt that says, "If genders confuse you, go milk a bull." Can you say this in an Afrikaner's accent?
Please no. Don't
Please do that.
make me.
Please.
Don't.
Please. I won't make you. I'll make you say something else in here, and you don't want to say the things that are coming up in the next section of the article.
Don't make me say things with Afrikaans right now.
Okay.
The Jews.
The Jews.
Isn't that a lovely headline to see in 2025?
That's a lovely headline to see. So, in one case, Kleinhaus advocated for physical assault on an American citizen, retweeting a story about a guy who had been given a citation for his part in a road rage incident with another driver. Kleinhaus wrote, "He needs a beating urgently." Kleinhaus was upset because the other driver involved in the incident was driving a Tesla. But most importantly, Kleinhaus has also posted about the Jews into Israel in the kind of way that might get someone who wasn't a white South African deported, calling Jews untrustworthy and dangerous. In April 2023, Kleinhaus responded to the video of Christians scuffling with Israeli police on the way to the Church of Nativity by saying Jews were unnaturally untrustworthy. This is a quote of someone. I am not saying this is my quote. Jews are not my words untrustworthy, and not my words a dangerous group, and they are not by my words not God's chosen like they believe. Where is the temple? That must be their concern. Leave us above alone. We all believe in the God of Abraham, Moses, and Jacob. I almost said something ugly. I love that last part. I almost said something ugly. On October 7th, 2023, Kleinhaus responded to the initial news of the Hamas terrorist attack in Israel by posting a link to an Al Jazeera video taken a few days earlier of Orthodox Israelis spitting on Christians. Yeah, he links it here to the news of it. Jews spitting on Christians! 5 days after October 7th, Kleinhaus posted a link to another video called "Israel is a Terrorist State" that showed clashes between Christians and Israeli police, and he wrote, "Jews attacking Christians!" And there's also this post that he made, that he retweeted. I love this. I don't know what's even supposed to be happening here. It's like Trump walking alongside some, like, angel. I love insane Christians. Because, like,
I hate them.
Look at this. Look at this.
I actually hate them.
Look at this. And, like,
No,
I gotta save this, actually. I gotta save this. This is perfect.
Oh,
That's
please.
perfect. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, there are so many things that lead to this being created, and none of them are in the Bible. None of them are in the Bible. This comes around through people not reading the Bible. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Insane.
So this is the type of people that, or maybe the difference is that he's white. Who could say? Mystery. Who could say? Yeah. So, these are the people that Trump is bringing into the country as refugees. So it's a crazy ass fucking thing happening that is rooted in lies from, like, far right Afrikaners and the Trump administration, and it's hilarious. And Elon Musk has something to say too, because Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, responded to the Afrikaners who left, calling them cowards. And Elon Musk did not like that. So Elon Musk's strong reaction to South Africa calling Afrikaners cowards. Elon Musk has strongly reacted to South African President Cyril Ramaphosa calling the Afrikaners who sought asylum in the United States cowards. Trump administration shut all doors. That's explaining it. Afrikaners and ethnic group promoting Dutch origins. Okay. The move has been created tension between the U.S. and South Africa. He called them cowards. South Africans, we are resilient. We do not run away from. You want to do a Ramaphosa accent? A Ramaphosa impression?
I can't do. I like legitimately can't do Ramaphosa's accent.
That's fair. As South Africans, we are resilient. We don't run away from our problems. We must stay here and solve our problems. When you run away, you are a coward. That's a real cowardly act. If you look at all national groups, I'm not done with the quote. If you look at all national groups in our country, black and white, they've stayed in this country because it's our country, and we must not run away from our problems. We must stay here and solve our problems.
So, like, here's the thing, right? Most people, obviously, in America are not going to understand what Ramaphosa is like on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is him being vicious.
This is very aggressive. This is
him, like, giving the finger and being aggressive.
This is good. This is the same type of energy that someone like Claudia Sheinbaum from Mexico gives when they're, and Mark Carney in Canada, where they're very oppositional to America's stance in this. They're taking a stance against America with this statement, right? Like, you're being a coward running away to America, right? It's a good thing that they're standing up to it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it is just to be noted that this is very strong statement as well from him. This isn't just, it doesn't directly say fuck you to Trump, but it is very much a fuck you to Trump and Elon and all of them.
Yeah.
And they deserve it.
Yeah. I can bet you they will be back soon because there's no country like South Africa, he added.
The thing is that from what I've learned from you and my other friends I've made in America, things do seem better here. And I'm pale myself.
I think things look more hopeful in South Africa. I would get the same
privilege in America that you do.
I think that when it comes to comparing South Africa to America, America has more amenities and luxury and, like, better economy and stuff. But when it comes to, like, standards of, like, when it comes to, like, the bare necessities afforded to people, the price of living.
That's what it is.
And also the availability of necessities. You have, like, in America, healthcare is inaccessible. Right.
Yeah, healthcare is a rather important thing, and we have it.
Yeah, and we don't have it in America. It's inaccessible in America. It is impossible to fucking get a job without, like, a university degree in America, right?
Yeah, no, you can get a job here with just matric.
Yeah.
Even if you're white.
Yeah. America has a lot more issues that are so systemically ingrained that I don't know how to change them. But if you live in America and you're a white person, your life will probably be, if you're white and upper middle class or upper class, you will probably have a better life than most other places in the world. But if you're not in that selective group, you're fucked. You're fucked. And I, someone who lives, like, lower middle class, do feel that. And I see it a lot of people around me too. But here's Musk's response to a guy named Danny Barnard. The South African government just told the world that white Afrikaner refugees aren't fleeing prosecution because they're fleeing racial justice. The president then called them cowards for escaping. Within then hours, the U.S. National Security Council suspended all agency cooperation with South Africa. Elon Musk, who is now going by Gorklon Rust, I have no idea what the fuck is happening here, but this is like the most obvious sign of like a crash out ever. What the fuck is happening? The South African government just said that whites are cowards. But for who are fleeing racial justice. What exactly do they mean by racial justice? Right? What do they mean by it, Jade? What do they mean by racial justice?
Everybody gets along.
Everybody gets along. Is that scary? I think that's scary. I think that's quite terrifying, actually, myself. I'm
Is
actually
that is
terrified of
kind
it.
of like what the aim is in South Africa. You know, we do. You know how, like, especially when we first started talking, your image of South Africa was, hey, that's the country that did apartheid.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, what Nelson Mandela tried to turn this country into?
A country that was known not for being the country of apartheid.
No, beyond just like not being known for apartheid, we were supposed to be the rainbow nation. Remember?
Yes.
Like I was talking to my roommate, and do you know what they said?
I had no
Oh yeah,
idea.
no, in the football world, which to you is the soccer world, I guess.
Yeah.
South Africa is the Waka Waka nation.
Waka waka.
But outside of that, we're the apartheid nation. Like you can sort of see how there's a dissonance there because
Yeah.
what they tried to do is more make us like the rainbow nation.
I think
But nobody knows that because we're just known for apartheid.
that's
And it's
like
because of people like this.
I do think that as time goes on, apartheid will become more and more of a distant memory and eventually leave living memory.
I
And
hope so.
that's when South Africa will be able to fully be able to like Germany. If I think of Germany, if I ask the average person what they think of Germany, I guarantee you they're going to say yodeling or some shit about Bavaria or fucking pretzels or beer. And I don't think the average person is going to instantly say the Holocaust. You know? Like there will be a time for South Africa when you ask someone what do they think of South Africa and they go rugby or biltong or some shit or like Cape
Yeah.
Town.
But unironically, right now in this moment in time, that's not what we're known for.
Yeah.
And it's not. Look, the ANC government internally in our politics, when it comes time to like campaign and vote, they'll bring up apartheid. They'll mention like, hey, you know, like
Yeah.
we don't want white people in charge again, do you?
Yeah.
But like, they're not just running against other white parties. They are parties of every color.
Yeah.
We don't have the same sort of election cycle. So that point is like less important every time they fucking mention it.
Right.
But yeah, we don't exactly just go around spouting the fact that hey, we're the country of apartheid.
So the DA, how has the DA been responding to Trump? What is their take on
You
Trump?
see, herein lies the problem, right? It's like a few years ago, there was a guy who was the head of the DA called Musi Maimane,
Yes, I do know Musi
a black
Maimane.
guy. He was ejected from the DA.
Yeah.
And I don't fully know the story, but I know that it was bullshit. Basically, he was ejected for bad reasons.
He was more progressive, wasn't he?
He is quite progressive, but I also learned that he's a Zionist.
That tracks for
But
like a liberal, you know.
the person who took over, who is now the lead
She
head person of the DA,
she's the racist lady,
he
right? Oh, he.
no,
Am I thinking of a
he
local
is a guy.
politician?
You're thinking of somebody who was a politician before that I've spoken about.
Okay.
But he is a guy called Dan Steenhuisen.
Steenhuisen, yes, I remember him from when the election was coming around.
Right. And he is a person who very much leans further towards the conservative, i.e., Trump side.
This guy.
John Steenhuisen, not Dan. John Steenhuisen. There we go. That's the guy.
Yeah. Born in Durban. Northwood Boys sounds so British. Going
Oh,
on to
look at
Northwood
the
Boys.
logo. Look at the picture that comes
I
up. Look at
quit
that.
ye
That's a
like
white
min.
school.
Quisibi sebevus. You can tell by fucking Northwood Boys. A white school in KwaZulu Natal is a funny image to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the guy who Jade is talking about. He's the Minister of Agriculture.
Do
Which-
you want to look at some of his opinions if they list them here?
Political positions and views. It doesn't. He's a conservative liberal. Yeah, advocates for racial equality, anti-racism, and anti-corruption. Wow, I'm the most won-over person
Center
ever.
right.
Yeah, I know.
Center right.
Yeah, I know. I know what this means.
That's not what they used to. That's not what they used to be known for either. The DA wasn't known to be center
No.
right before.
No. Let's see if there's
Because
any.
look at Musi Maimani by comparison. They should have
We
it
can
on
go
the
here.
right there.
We can go to history. Oh, maybe we did go
Or
there.
go back to Sinners
That,
on the right. Preceded by down. Under income.
There it is.
There
Musi
we go.
Maimani. There's Musi Maimani.
Yeah. You
Where's
can
he
see
from? He's from Transvaal. Krugersdorp.
Transvaal province. Krugersdorp.
Krugersdorp. Yeah, so why was he kicked out? Resignation? Helen Zille was elected council chairperson, a high-ranking position in the DA. The following day, Herman Mashaba announced his intention to resign as Johannesburg, or whatever the hell. And DA member due to disputes with the party leadership. This move from Mashaba created speculation that Maimane would also immediately resign. Maimane announced his resignation as a federal leader of the DA on the 23rd of October, ending months after speculation that he would be removed following the party's decline in the 2019 general elections. In his resignation, so was he was a response to the 2019 election pinned on him, like, or something like that, like?
Yeah, basically they had lost a little bit of their power, and they said, "Oh, go woke, go broke," basically.
It faced its first general election decline in its history. Analysts suggest the decline was because of Maimani's weak leadership. The party stagnated in some areas, while it shed support to the conservative FF Plus, Freedom Front Plus, in other areas. In the National Assembly, the party lost 5 parliamentary seats in KwaZulu-Natal, and in Mpumalanga, it lost the title of official opposition to the Inkatha Freedom Party and the Economic Freedom Fighters, Julius Malema. The DA underperformed and lost support in Gauteng, a province that was expected to gain control through the coalition. The DA declined in its traditional stronghold of the Western Cape. Despite the decline at the national level in some provinces, the party did manage to grow in the Free State, Northern Cape, and KwaZulu-Natal, earning one more in each of the respective regions. Provision for legislatures. So yeah, it must have been blamed on Maimane.
Because
entirely.
here's the thing, right? Is that the DA is kind of like the logical racist vote in South Africa. Like, unironically, they're just like, oh, this, because it's historically a party that was always headed up by a white person. And Musi Maimane was an outlier in that. He was the first black person to head the DA. And a lot of racist white people were like, oh, I always vote DA, but now they've put a black guy in charge. So they lost a lot of votes to the Freedom Front Plus.
Which is this is the other racist party. Like this is like the illogical
right-wing
racist.
political party in Africa from 1994, led by Corne Mulder.
Oh my god! It's like evil Tim Walz. It's like JD Vance. It's like JD Vance. He looks like JD Vance.
Yeah, it's JD Vance.
He looks like fucking JD Vance. Looks like JD Vance. I'm in Mashaba. That's Mashaba. He was mentioned.
Yeah. You gotta do one of those like edits. There's Photoshop edits of JD Vance's face on this image.
Inkatha Freedom Party. This guy looks cool. I don't know. Oh, constitutional monarchism. No, I take it back.
Yeah, you don't rate the ideologies of each of the parties.
Okay, we have the ANC, African nationalism, and social democracy. This is like average social democracy. It once stood for something, and now it doesn't stand for anything.
Center left.
The ANC, going unbiased. These two together. If I saw this on a paper, I'd be like, "This is awesome." If I saw it on paper, Unfortunately, I know what the ANC is like, and this is just like it's a dead.
Yeah, it's
It's
on
like
the front.
it's dead.
They're
It's dead.
they're
Yeah,
they're corrupt as shit.
yeah. They're
That's
yeah,
them ideologically. Look,
yeah,
they do have an ideology on paper, but like in practice, no, this is not what the ANC is actually like. But the
yeah,
ideologies,
yeah. So then the DA, liberalism and federalism. This feels like a bear trap.
center,
Center.
political position.
Mkunto Asizwe from Jacob Suma. My favorite man ever. My left wing. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Literally,
Shut the fuck
literally the
up.
Joker as a politician.
Shut up.
Literally the Joker as a
It's
politician.
not the fucking left wing party. Shut up. Um, economic freedom fighters, communism, and Pan Africanism. Now, this one is one that I'm like, hell yeah. But then I look over and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, but
wait,
like
Julius
Russian
Malema. Yeah, but
communism.
yeah, this is like Marxist Leninism, not like actual communism. Another one of those ones that I see on paper and I'm like, hell yeah. And then I look over, it's like, oh no, Julius Malema.
But even there, you have like Jacob Zuma's party espousing socialism.
Yeah, but socialism for him.
Yeah, all your money or belong to me.
He's like Polish socialism. I don't know. We have the Inkatha Freedom Party, conservatism, and constitutional monarchism. I see this and I think this is some very regional, like former African monarchy that has been displaced by the British Empire, and they want power again. I'm assuming is what's happening with this one.
I don't even know what monarchy they would be referring to, honestly.
Lesotho. This is the Lesotho fucking
No, they have nothing to do with
opposition party.
Lesotho.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Lesotho is a whole different country.
I'm aware.
bro.
I'm aware. I was like implying that they're like paid by Lesotho to disrupt South African democracy or something. We have the
Not
Patriotic
even.
Alliance, right wing populism. These are Nazis. These are Nazis.
Right-wing populism. Gaten,
Yeah.
look at Gaten McKenzie, though. He's apparently a millionaire. He served as Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture.
And former convicted criminal. Why do you have two former
Yeah.
convicted criminals leading political parties in South Africa?
What do you mean two?
Jacob Zuma.
What do you mean two?
Jacob Zuma and Gayton McKenzie.
And Julius Malema.
Oh, you're right. He's a criminal too.
Right, they're not the only ones in politics.
Yeah, but like
Riley.
what was he arrested for?
We don't have one Trump, we have all of them. Why do you think we look at your country and go, finally, you see what it's like?
Malema has been embroiled in various legal issues that his political career has been convicted of hate speech twice, once for demeaning comments about Zuma's rape accuser, and again for singing Jubul.
Zuma!
Ibunu.
Look at Zuma! It's like, he's mentioned there for that, so...
Which charged with rape. Yeah. Oh, Zuma. Well, Zuma. I already said Zuma was one of the people who couldn't. So we have three criminals. Jacob Zuma arrested for financial crimes, and he's also a rapist.
Cyril
Ramaphosa, but he was never convicted. He's a criminal.
No, because he's the president.
Yeah, he's. When you're done with your presidency in South Africa, there's just like a prison truck waiting to take you.
No, there isn't, because like the previous president isn't convicting. He's just making sure that Zuma can't actually win an election against him, because Zuma tried to run for a third term.
Yeah, with the Mkonto Asizwe.
Yeah, so like once again, it doesn't matter. Even if the Republicans do get rid of Trump, do you think that's the end of him?
No. Oh my god, I can't wait until he's gone. It'll be so funny. Anyway, we have Freedom Front
He'll form his
Plus,
own party,
conservatism,
the MAGA party.
conservatism and Afrikaner interests formed in 1994. This is actually like the Nazi party. Like I called these guys Nazis, but this is the actual Nazi party. Action SA, classical liberalism, libertarianism. This seems to be a nothing party that is formed by people who do nothing. The African Christian Democratic Party, Kenneth Michoud. Christian Democracy, Social Conservatism. They think they're the CDU. They ain't. United Democratic Movement, Bantu Holomisa. Social Democracy, center left. Just join a different party, man. Rise Mzanzi.
Mzansi.
Mzanzi.
Mzansi.
Songezo Zibi. A third. Oh no. Ew. 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 Build one South Africa. Musi Maimane, here he is.
There he is. He formed his own like
Well, he's got a
little
really
party.
successful party.
Yeah, no.
I think one of them is him.
No.
African Transformation Movement. Vulovetu Zungula. They don't have a Wikipedia article. Christian Democracy Conservatism. Join a different party, man. Al Jama'ah. Okay, these are Islamic democracy. So this is representing a minority group. They're
Yes, but they are
fiscal
also
they're
allowed.
right, social right wing, fiscal left wing. That's interesting. Normally it's the other way around.
Yeah, but like they are, just think about it, allowed to run for office without being like they have enough power to run for office.
Yeah.
National office.
Yeah, that's pretty common in countries that have a significant minority population. They have like in Germany, there's a party that is there to represent like the Danish minority in Schleswig-Holstein. And it gets like national prominence only because it represents a minority group. So like this makes sense.
But remember, there are people who are part of Al Jamaa in every single part of South Africa. We are the Rainbow Nation.
Yeah. The National Colored Congress, CCC, that's a great name. Localism and Cape Independence. What the fuck?
Fadil. Oh, Fadil Adams. That is. It's unironically one of the most colored names you could have
They don't have a
in
Wikipedia
existence.
article.
He's literally
Good.
called like John Smith.
Good.
I like
Good.
Patricia DeLittle, actually.
Patricia DeLittle,
Yeah.
Minister of Tourism, Social Liberalism. You know what? Then I'll give her a good one. United Africans Transformation, Wonder Malatsi. Mashlatsi. There's no S there, but I'll take your word for it. And the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania.
Look at the year they were formed, 1959.
What
they were part of the struggle.
Really? Interesting. Well, they died. They don't exist anymore. They got one guy. What's this last category over here? What's this? Is this municipal? Yeah, it's municipal. Okay. They got like 22 guys municipal.
How many seats they got?
Well, no, municipal is like in a city. These are like mayors.
Municipal council.
Yeah. Municipal,
like
provincial legislatures, NCOP, National Congress, Council of Provinces, and then a National Assembly, which is like the Congress. And basically, aside for ANC, DA, Umkhonto weSizwe, and EFF, and maybe a bit of Inkatha.
Arguably IFP.
Arguably the IFP. Other than them, they have nothing.
Yeah. Like it's more coalitions and stuff like that. Because like remember sometimes the IFP will agree with the ANC and vote alongside them.
I feel like
sometimes they'll vote against them.
I feel like the numbers are like not adding up here. You have 159 and 87 from the DA, which is like all these people here. You get to 400. I mean, I guess it piles on quickly, but it feels like there should be another party that's like 50 people. Which gets you have like Umkhonto weSizwe here, which is.
But remember, there's government and there's the progressive. The opposition is 113 seats.
Yeah.
The Progressive Caucus.
13. Yeah. Progressive Caucus.
Like Axeneshe, Bossa, ACDP with their 3 seats, like they don't vote alongside the ANC all the time.
Yeah.
So there's the ones that are in charge, which right now, because we have the Government of National Unity,
yes,
the GNU, for the
ANC
first
and the
time,
DA.
More than just them, the IFP, the PA.
Oh God, this is cursed.
Like
Patriotic Alliance and the ANC on the same side. It's so funny.
Yeah, the same side is putting it strongly.
The quote unquote same side.
Yeah.
You never see political coalitions exist in America. Like they just don't. They can't exist because of the way America works.
They can't exist.
Yeah.
But I guess the closest is when the House and the Senate are like more equal.
I want to do what I just did for South Africans political parties. I want to do that to you with America's political parties.
So here's one more question on the South African one,
Yes,
quick,
yes,
before we go to this
yes.
one. One more question. So on this list, who do I vote for?
I feel like you don't vote, but if you would vote, you would just do the utilitarian vote
So
of ANC.
am I validated?
Yeah, you're validated. This is one of the situations where I'm like, just don't even vote. Let the world take over. If I would vote, I don't even know. I don't even know if some of these people are even on the ballot in certain
They
areas.
are.
Are they always on the ballot? Because in America, sometimes you don't have
For the
ballot if you're too
national,
small.
it's no, for national elections, one person, one vote. We don't have like a what's it called, electoral college type thing. We
Well, no,
one person, one vote.
I mean like in some areas you have to make you have to be like big enough to make it on the ballot. Otherwise, you can't even
Yeah,
vote
for
for them.
local elections.
No, and
But for
yeah,
national
okay.
elections,
In America, it's
we
national as
no,
well.
we don't separate.
Okay.
Everybody gets the same ballot.
Okay, well then I would vote for. You know what? Just to see what would happen, I'm gonna vote for the monarchists.
God.
I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably vote for fucking like ANC. Because like I don't
But
know.
if you're
I'm not
not
voting for
voting
DA.
ANC or DA or
If I'm
what's the
not voting
third
for
one?
them,
Like,
I'm Mkonto
if
Sizwe.
you're not voting for like the top five, you're not
I'm not voting.
you're you're not voting.
Yeah,
Like then you're just throwing your vote at somebody else who's
exactly.
going to vote alongside one of the other parties.
Yeah, yeah. If I had to pick of these five, I think if they changed out Julius Malema for someone else, I would give EFF
Do you
a vote.
see what I mean? Remember when I spoke about wanting to actually talk to Julius?
Yeah,
That's why. Do you see it now?
yeah,
I'm validated.
yeah. Because like ANC needs to go away. They need to go. They need to stop.
The culture of corruption is
The
too deep.
corruption
It's
is
not an
yeah.
issue with them on paper.
It's
It's
the
the fact that
corruption.
their culture of
They're
corruption
so
is too deep.
corrupt. The DA has so much baggage and just so much conservatism.
The DA leans too far to the right generally because it is
A business
unironically
party. It's a party for
like
business people.
it's a party for business people, but it is kind of like very white,
Yeah.
and that's not good here.
This is Zuma's party, and I'm not voting for.
No, that's a meme. That's a meme. That's a cult of personality. That's Trump with no relevance.
Yeah.
That's Trump with no relevance.
And then the Inkatha Frida party is some random fucking monarchist party. So then I'd vote for
Yeah, I
EFF.
don't think they're sane. I don't think
I'd
that
vote for EFF, but they
IFF
have to drop Julius Malema, or at least he's got to just fucking stop with his
he's
insanity
got
shit.
it. No, here's the thing, right? Is that when he was taken to court for that hate speech thing,
Shoot the
the
boer.
judges, right? The actual judges directly said to him, denounce the killing of white people. Like,
Yeah.
it's not happening. He's not in power. He has no real power here. He's lost more votes than like he's gained in most elections.
Right.
Like once Mkonte and Sizwe rolled around, he became irrelevant.
Yeah.
They asked him directly, denounce the killing of white people. He's like, I'm not gonna say it might not happen.
Right.
Like they say, will you ever call for the killing of white people? And he's like, we don't know what will happen.
Yeah, that's
And that's in
wild.
court where that's all they wanted him to do was basically say like he will not call for the killing of white people. So he is
Yeah.
like a little bit edgy and all that. But
Yeah.
I feel like if you just sit him down and have a human to human conversation, you would get a different look at the motherfucker. And I don't know what that look is, and I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
He's fully bought in on his conviction.
Yeah, that's what makes him interesting.
But I don't think that he'd kill me in a dark alley.
No, no. I'm curious. I want to know like his views on specific communist principles and stuff. Because like obviously you have like the revolutionary aspect of like freeing the country, blah blah blah. I want to know like details of what his belief is, like what he pulls from like what movements in history and stuff. I'm curious in that. I'm curious on like his political
Well,
beliefs
I can tell
and
you
where
that
his
he is
advocacy
friendly
comes
with
from.
Putin, as far as I know.
Yeah.
He is friendly with Putin.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I do feel like there is a sort of political financial incentive there, if you get
Yeah.
my meaning.
Yeah, like in
Like in the idea of he is a communist believer,
the only
maybe he
yeah.
just believes what Putin is telling him, and that's
Yeah.
a problem because Putin, look, something we can all admit, Putin is fucking evil. But
Yeah.
if there's anything the motherfucker is good at,
He's smart.
it's manipulating people.
Yeah, he's really good at manipulating people. I don't know. Uh, I
Well,
definitely want to talk to him if it was ever the opportunity to. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna make you do this
tweet
to American political
tweet
parties.
this episode at him.
Yeah, you want to?
Do it. I don't have Twitter though, so it
Uh,
would have to be one of us with Twitter.
I'm not doing that because I don't
Oh,
check
come
my
on.
Twitter because my Twitter's full of fucking. Because then all you
We
have to
don't
do is
talk
go to
about
my Twitter follows and then be like, what is this? I'm not going on this fucking podcast. What the hell's happening here? Anyway, yeah.
make a
So
Twitter for the podcast.
we should do that. We should do that.
You should do that. I'm not doing it.
Fair. It'll never be used. Anyway,
But it would be used to make that one tweet.
you can see the what I meant earlier about ballot access. And presidential ballot access of 2024. You can see that right here. Is like, yeah, 50-50 in DC, 50-50 in DC.
That
Membership.
means that they are on the ballot
Yeah,
everywhere.
but some parties aren't, like the Libertarians, Green.
Right.
Yeah. So, I like this one because it shows you like founded. It also shows you membership and popular vote percentage. You can see how close it was. Just 2 million people. 1% difference. Even though Republicans have less party membership. By a lot. By a lot. You can see state legislators, representatives, senators.
I don't like any of those numbers though.
No, these are very grim. Very grim.
It's been 50% though.
What?
49.8% of the electoral votes.
Yeah, they didn't
Less
even win
than
50.
50%.
Yeah, they didn't even. They barely won. Very insane election. Anyway, so we have the Forward Party, populism, reformism, and decentralization. What do you think of this?
It just makes me think of cryptocurrency now.
They have
It's
1,000.
decentralized.
So yeah, that's actually pretty much what this one is. This is Andrew Yang. This guy's yeah.
Is he a crypto bro?
He's kind of like a crypto bro. I'm pretty sure he's from New Jersey. Yeah, he's from New York. But this is kind of like a crypto bro party. It doesn't really exist anymore. I don't think it's not. It's like I said, it's got like four states have ballot access. It's got 3 state legislators. Ballot access in a single state. Vermont Progressive Party. This is Bernie's party. Progressivism, Democratic Socialism.
And it's only available in Vermont.
Yeah, because it's a Vermont party. It runs for state government. Anyway, these are the presidential ones that can run for national elections.
Okay.
We have American libertarianism over here.
That don't tread on me is quite telling.
I love American libertarianism. It's completely fucking insane. Their membership dropped. They dropped below 1 million recently. They're dying. The Libertarian Party is a dying breed.
It's
Rip the Libertarians, the greatest spoiler candidates ever to live. We have the Green Party. Now, if you look at this, what do you think of the Green Party as?
like what that tells me is that they care about global warming.
Mm-hmm.
And that usually comes with a sort of eco-socialism. Like that's just hippy dippy hippies.
Yeah. Are you surprised to learn that they're bought by Russia?
No.
Yeah. This is Jill Stein's party.
Somebody's got to pay for the drugs, right?
So Jill
No, for
Stein.
real. Like I feel like
Yeah.
this is a party like where the stoners hang out.
This is the party where lefties on Twitter yell at you if you don't vote for them because otherwise you're voting for the genociders of the Democrats and stuff. And it's like, well,
Yeah, like
I know, but also like the Green Party is a fake party that will never win and does nothing but to
but like
suck votes out of the
can
people
I
who
just
can.
ask a question here, right?
Yeah.
If you protest the war, like if you protest the genocide and like wave Palestinian flags, would the Democrats have thrown you in prison
No.
for the rest of your life in a foreign country?
Never.
So the people who voted Green Party just like don't get their priorities.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jello
Jello
Biafra,
Biafra ran for the Green Party
the dead
in
Kennedys.
2000. Yeah, but this is before they got bought by Russia. Here's Jill Stein, the lady herself. She is completely bought by Russia. You can see over down here. NATO has pursued a policy of basically encircling Russia, including threats of nukes and drones and so on. Yeah. Establishing a neutral Ukraine that would allow Russia to not feel under attack. Helped foment.
Russia did not
She said
feel under attack.
she
My
said that the
God.
U.S. helped foment a coup against the democratic elected government, contending that the post-revolution government contained ultra-nationalists and ex-Nazis. She was interviewed by Mehdi Hassan last year. I do remember this. Stein was asked whether she considers Vladimir Putin a war criminal who should be on trial. Hassan juxtaposed her past remarks regarding Putin, Bashar al-Assad, and Benjamin Netanyahu, repeatedly asking Stein why they had no remarks from characterizing Putin or Assad as a war criminal. She referred to John F. Kennedy, responding, "If you want to be an effective world leader, you don't start by name calling and hurling epithets." Epithets. She then claimed epithets. Then she claimed that there had been no decision by the International Criminal Court regarding Putin. 3 days later, in response to the interview, Stein's Twitter account posted a statement describing Putin as a war criminal. Yeah, that wasn't very good. He's not a war criminal because the courts haven't said it. 3 days later, her Twitter account, he's a war criminal. I swear, actually, please. All right, what do you think of the No Labels Party?
Yeah, but don't you feel like wait. Before we go to the No
Sorry.
Labels Party, right? That Jill Stein
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah.
What if they told her, no, tell them you think we're war criminals? Like if Russia pulled up and is like, just tell them that. We don't care.
Just tell him we don't care. Come on, Jill. Like Putin
It
caressing
just
her
feeds,
hair.
just feeds our narrative because Russia's narrative is that they're persecuted.
Yeah.
And Jill Stein is evidence of that persecution and nothing more. Like she's not effective in any other way other than feeding like Russian propaganda.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you think of No Labels then?
Centrism, center. That tells me nothing about them. They don't even have a candidate. What are they? They're just the we do nothing for nobody ever party.
They're the No Labels Party. They have
They're
no
idiots.
labels. They're bipartisan.
They're
They support
idiots. They
centrism
stand
and
for nothing.
bipartisanship. Commemorates majority. They don't have a party chair. They have a CEO. They consider
They're business
themselves.
people, then.
They consider themselves, and they have a board of
They'll
directors.
go any way
Whereas
the
like
witch belt.
the Libertarian Party has like a fucking a chairperson and a governing body. Like all the parties, they have a CEO and a board of directors.
Yeah, but like they're just business people.
Here's their website. Social events. Whoa, that's not very bipartisan. Like, what if someone doesn't want to go to the event? Citizen. Election. We deserve leaders who unite, not divide. What is this fucking image?
Is this like unironically the party of hey, we want the Nazis and the black people to get along?
Yeah, pretty much.
We want a world full of Kanyes.
Here's their presidential access the ballots. Certified for ballot in all the green states, blue states waiting petition. Red has been rejected, and yellow automatic write-in, and then gray is not on the ballot. So in New Jersey, I have to specifically write in to the government that I want to vote for. No labels. But if I lived in... Surprise, surprise, a lot of these fucking bumfuck states with large percentages of libertarians I could fucking vote. Surprised that New Hampshire doesn't have this. This is a very like bumfuck ass like we're all friends, hiya type shit. Anyway, what's next? Constitution Party. What the fuck do you think of the Constitution Party? Here's their logo.
Paleoconservatism. I don't like Christian nationalism. Oh my goodness, these people are Nazis, but like Christian Nazis.
So paleoconservatism is a political philosophy and strain of conservatism in the United States stressing American nationalism, Christian ethics, regionalism, traditionalism, conservatism, and non-interventionism. Paleoconservatism concerns overlap with those of the old right that opposed
This
the
party
New
gets
Deal in the
smaller
30s
when-
and 40s.
This party got smaller when Trump became like the Republican head, right?
Yes, these are a 90s party. But I want you to pay attention to this. They're those of the old right that opposed the New Deal in the 30s and 40s. The 30s and 40s opposing the left.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
This is bad.
This is a bad party. Regardless of
Does it
how
say
Trump himself
Donald
is
Trump?
categorized, others regard the movement known as Trumpism as supported by, if not rebranding, of paleoconservatism. From this view, the old followers of the old right did not fade away so easily and continued to have significant influence in the Republican Party. So yeah, like you said, they just went to they just went to
vote for
they
Trump.
just went to vote to Trump, yeah. I remember paleoconservative. I think Ben Shapiro is someone who calls himself a paleoconservative. I'm curious about their ballot access though. I think
He's an idiot.
I've been to all these Wikipedia articles before.
Can I say that actually?
Yeah, you can.
Can like on a completely human level?
Look at the
is Ben
people they
Shapiro
run.
just an idiot, or
I think
is he
he's.
evil?
I think he's evil. I think he's evil.
He is evil, but like, do you think he's an idiot?
I don't think he's an idiot. I think Matt Walsh is an idiot.
Matt Walsh is an idiot.
Matt Walsh is an idiot because of what he did in the past, of like his old career, what he used to do and stuff. He's very much an idiot. I don't think Ben Shapiro is an idiot. I think he's just evil.
Then what's wrong with him?
I think he's evil.
Like
I think
beyond the
he's just
evil, like other people are evil as well. Like
he's evil,
other
and
people are also
he's
evil.
bitter. He's bitter. He's very, very, very bitter. He's got such a fucking grudge for getting rejected as a writer. That's his big concern. That's it. That's why he's a conservative. That's it.
Is that his like villain origin story?
Yeah, he was one of those people who was rejected. He was one of those people.
But
who
he also
rejected,
has no media literacy.
No, I think it's played up for a bit. I think it's played up as a character. I think he plays up his media literacy.
But like maybe he plays up what he says, but his understanding of things. And when he is, remember, he did make movies.
Well, he produced them. I don't think he's ever actually written a movie.
Them, but producing is still a big part. It was like,
yeah, but he produced it as in media. Like he produced it as in like he wrote books. I will give him that. He did write books, and they're awful.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like the stories he gets behind and wants to sell.
Brainwashed, how universities indoctrinate America's youth. Porn generation, how social liberalism is corrupting our future. Project President, bad hair and Botox, the road to the White House. Primetime propaganda, the true Hollywood story of how the left took over your TV. Bullies, how the left's culture of fear and intimidation silences America. The People versus Barack Obama, the criminal case against the Obama administration. Moral universe torn apart. What's fair and other short stories. This is one that I know. True Allegiance is the one that I was thinking of because this is an actual novel. The rest of these are like politics critiques and stuff. This one's a collection of short stories. This one is a novel about like BLM. It's really bad. Say It So, Papa, Dad, Me, and 2005 White Sox championship season. What the fuck? The Right Side of History, how reason and moral purpose made the West great. Facts don't care about your feelings. How to destroy America in 3 easy steps. Catastrophic thinking. Facts still don't care about your theories. And the authoritarian movement, how the left weaponized America's institutions against dissent. See, most of these are like political hack books, but only one of these is an actual novel, and it's awful.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that he does have no media literacy.
Yeah. I'm looking for... He cameoed in Lady Ballers. It doesn't really mention, because the movies you're talking about like Run, Hide, Fight and Terror on the Prairie and stuff, the ones that the Daily Wire produced, right?
Yeah.
I could probably find those if I go to the Daily Wire entertainment. Yeah, Run, Hide, Fight.
Films. Yeah,
Yeah.
down.
Oh, there we go. Run, Hide, Fight. Shut In. I don't know. Shut In. The Hyperions. What is a Woman? Terror on the Prairie. Lady Ballers. Sound of Hope. And Am I Racist? And the Snow White and Evil Queen, which is not coming out anymore. But the thing is, with a lot of these, things like Run, Hide, Fight were made before the Daily Wire bought them. It's still a conservative movie, but it wasn't made by the Daily Wire. I'm pretty sure that's the case for Shut In, the Hyperions as well. Like, these two weren't made to be conservative, I'm pretty sure. These were just movies that were made that the Daily Wire bought. Same thing, I think, with Sound of Hope. I think this one was bought by them.
Yeah, but like Lady Ballers?
Lady Ballers and Terror on the Prairie was made by them. What is a Woman was made by them.
Like, neither
Lady
of us
Ballers
have
was made
seen
by
Lady
them.
Ballers, but we know enough about it to...
I watched a whole breakdown of it where basically they went through the entire movie, like,
yeah,
scene by scene.
I watched the breakdown as well.
Yeah.
And
Oh, The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. This
yeah.
one's another. This one is about the 2020 election being stolen, and then My Dinner with Trump. So these two are both documentaries. Was the
But like,
there's a bunch of shit
lack
down
of
here.
media literacy from this group of people, should I say?
Yeah,
It's not only Ben
Adam
Shapiro; it's
Carolla.
this group of people.
Chip Chilla, Mr.
Adam Carolla's not
Burcham,
funny.
Mr. Burcham,
Adam Carolla's not funny.
Mr. Burcham. Adam Carolla is so unfunny. I'm so sad we'll never get to see the television adaptation of Atlas Shrugged. I'm so sad. That would have been the greatest thing ever. That would have been like the peak awful content. I would have loved
You
that.
are too excited about awful things.
I
we
love
have enough
awful
awful
things.
things, Riley.
Anyway, next party, Working Families Party. Left Wing, 1998.
Social progressivism. They sound nice enough.
Let's look into them. Founded in New York, they're active in California, Colorado, Connecticut, Democrat states. Labor unions, community organizations, members of non-active New Party, and variancy of advocacy groups. They're just general progressive. Okay. Bill de
They're just
Blasio.
general progressive. They seem nice enough.
Wait, Bill de Blasio.
They seem a party that, if I actually looked into their policies, might have policies that I agree with.
The party started running candidates but was losing support by 97. Cantor, staff from the New Party, Association of others. Bill de Blasio, the future mayor of New York, and friends. Okay, well, Bill de Blasio was there. He's the former mayor of New York. He was the one before Eric Adams, after Michael Bloomberg.
The thing is, I remember the mayor of New York being that guy who was Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, the America's mayor.
Literally the Penguin.
Yeah. Yeah, the 90s mayor. David Dinkins. David Dinkins is a funny looking guy. Ed Koch.
I like his mustache.
This is Trump's best friend, Ed Koch.
Mr. Koch.
Yeah, this guy, he was evil.
Hello, Mr. Koch.
This guy was
He looks
awful.
evil. But he looks like an evil clown.
He crossed party lines to endorse Giuliani for mayor. He endorsed George W. Bush. He's a bad person. Party for Socialism and Liberation, a Marxist-Leninist party.
So they're with the Russians too, then, as well.
Yes, they're with the Russians.
Far left?
Far
These
left.
are tankies.
Yeah,
right?
these are probably
This is the
tankies. These are absolute tankies. These are not the tankies. That's the CPUSA, who we'll get to later. Because they don't have
It's
ballot
so
access.
many.
They're under here. There's a lot of tanky
But
parties.
they don't have national ballot access.
Yes.
They can't actually.
Yeah,
like,
the CPUSA
there's no
cannot.
chance
They
of them
cannot. Yeah.
actually win it.
They're a political party that cannot actually hold office.
Yeah. So what is the point of these?
Well, these ones.
Your
This
voting
state.
system is broken.
This state does have ballot access. In fact, they have 3
But
ballot
what state are they
stations.
in?
I don't know. They don't. They probably don't have
Exactly.
anyone. Yeah, it's 0 members with elected offices. They're just tankies who are here to just
but
fucking
what
start
state
shit.
are they in? Like, where are they available to be voted
I actually don't even know. We could probably try to see that.
for? Like, can you vote for this party?
I don't even know if I can. They had where would I even be able to find this information?
That's a problem, don't you think?
Yeah. You know,
This is a problem,
yeah, this
don't
is
you
this is
think?
not a real
These
party.
parties, these aren't real parties. What you're showing me aren't, like, all of the parties I showed you
They're real parties.
You can vote for them anywhere
What do
in
you,
South
what do you
Africa.
think of the
You can live in
Natural
a
Law
hole in the
Party?
ground.
What do you think of the
I
Natural
think
Law Party?
transcendental
It
meditation.
has this was
These people need to sober up off the goddamn mushrooms and go vote for a real political party.
I'm pretty sure this is like RFK's party before he yeah, this was the party RFK ran with.
This absolutely makes sense. These people need to sober up from the fucking mushrooms, get off the drugs.
It had as many votes as the Alliance Party and as many votes. It had more votes than the Libertarians.
Yeah, just you understand what I'm saying, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I
Like,
absolutely understand. I fully
I'm
with
not
you on
even
that.
calling them hippies. They're just drug addicts.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go down to the. These are all the parties that are only available in one state, like individual state parties and stuff.
Like, how stupid is this?
Well, no, this is for like state elections and stuff.
Yeah, but they can't.
Like legal marijuana
can't-
now.
Where they? Nebraska.
Minnesota.
It says
Form-
Nebraska on the right in their column.
Oh. Huh. Yeah. Weird. They said it founded in Minnesota. Anyway, yeah, these are there. Multi-state. So these are the ones. These are the ones that cannot vote. And here we have the Socialist Workers Party. This was a real socialist party. This is from 1938.
Any single state party that's in your state.
I don't think so. No, New Jersey does not have a single state party.
What's the closest state?
New York. They have the Conservative Party of New York.
Oh God.
Does Pennsylvania
really?
have one? Delaware has one. The Independent Party of Delaware. Fiscal conservatism. Yeah, and that's it though. Most of the stuff is like Colorado, unsurprisingly. Colorado, California, Florida, and the states you'd expect it to be the ick.
Stoners and crazy people.
Yeah, stoners are crazy people. And then we have parties that can't vote. These are where most of the left parties are, if you can't tell. These people are not allowed to have elections.
So wait.
Here's the original.
Far right. If you're far right,
there's plenty of parties for you if you're far right.
No, but if you're far right, like there's this place.
Yeah, you have Constitution, Alliance Party, Natural Law Party, American Solidarity Party, and of course the Republicans. But if you're a leftist, and you want to go for a party, well, you have the CPUSA, which is America's original Communist Party. This is one that actually used to run elections. We used to have people on the ballot here. You can see, Earl Browder and stuff. But what party did Eugene V. Debs run with? Socialist Party. Oh, he was part of the Socialist Party of America. I don't think this party doesn't exist anymore in 1972. But this guy actually ran for several elections in 1912. He ran and got almost 1 million votes, which at the time was 6% of the vote. But this election was one of those crazy ones that I could talk about for 9 years. This guy Eugene V. Debs ran in 3 elections in a row, got arrested, and then ran from prison in his last one. But like we used to run socialist parties, but we don't anymore. Party of America, United States Pirate Party, pirate politics, direct democracy, civil libertarianism. Love this. Love this.
Bring that back.
Yeah. CPUSA. This is what like Caleb Maupin is and shit. Like the tankies. All the tankies are a part of this one. Yeah. Bill of Rights, socialism, Marxist, Leninism, communism. This is where you get like tanky fucking MAGA communist shit. Look at all these like red. Look at all this. American Communist Party. Oh wait, fuck, wait, this is Infrared Haas. This is Infrared Haas. Wait, he's got his own party? No. This is like one of those tanky YouTubers.
Oh.
This is this tanky YouTuber, MAGA Communism. Yeah, this is him. Oh my god, I didn't know he had a fucking political party. That's so funny. Malthusianism.
What a guy.
Do you know Malthusianism?
I'm not very familiar, but
I know that it's the idea that in order that humanity will outpace the production of food and resources, and so to curb it, we need to genocide the world. Like this.
Yes.
The production of food is at a fixed rate, but the population will increase, so we need to like stop the population increase. It's genocidal.
We need to make sure Africans kill themselves.
Yes.
kill each other off so that like there's more stuff for white people to have.
It's also the basis of a show that I love so much, Utopia, not the fucking 2021 from America, the original British show. This show is a conspiracy show that is centered around the a Malthusian plot done by world leaders. It's actually a really great show, and I think we should watch it at some point together because I think you'd like it. But yeah, this one's about Malthusians. Anyway, yeah.
The thing
So
is that I know that it's pretty much a conspiracy theory to the extent that they take it.
yeah,
But rich people do sit around talking.
rich
about
people do. I mean,
as you can see with this guy, like he believes it, like he espouses it.
I mean, this is a Modest Proposals, like from 1729, a joking essay about people doing Malthusianism in the time. Like this is a mocking book at like English.
Yeah, like
Nobles.
rich people do unironically talk about this.
Like this
stuff,
is like a very well known
and talk about like murdering the poor.
Yeah.
Rich people are not okay, by the way.
Yeah, they're not.
Like
No.
in the head.
We have the Progressive Labor Party, anti-revisionism, Stalinism. See, this is a Stalinist party because they're anti-revision.
Straight up Stalinist.
Socialist, alternative, a Trotsky party, Workers' World Party. These are all formed in like the 90s, and not the 90s, like the 1900s, which is really funny. Anti-imperialist.
Am I that old?
No, but like the mid-90s, like Cold War. These are Cold War parties.
I was born in the 1900s.
Socialist, feminist, Trotsky Revolutionary Socialist Party. You have American Freedom Party, which is a far-right one, anti-immigration, white nationalism, right-wing populism, paleoconservative American nationalism, Socialist Action, and then the Transhumanist Party, which I don't think this one's banned exactly. I just don't think they've actually done anything yet. But this is like people who are like, we need tails now. And then we have some ones that are state-only but not allowed on ballots. Oh, we do have one in New Jersey, the Moderate Party.
We're so bland that we aren't even allowed to be voted for.
Who's this one? Oh, it's Alexandria? Ew.
So I'm assuming
that
not
part.
good.
It's that part of New Jersey. It's the farmland.
Oh.
It's the New Jersey farmland. Ew. Ew. Anyway, that's America's
moderate as in like
major.
right wing.
Oh, we have also political parties in Puerto Rico because Puerto Rico isn't allowed to vote in national elections. Their votes are thrown away. So instead, they vote on their own stuff. You have New Progressive Party. They support statehood. Popular Democratic Party. I don't think they support statehood. Citizens Victory Movement. I don't know what that thing is.
The Popular Democratic Party, the second one, don't they support like the status quo?
Probably.
That's why they're at an impasse, because the three biggest parties are like one that wants it.
It's like these two are the biggest two, and then the second biggest two are like tied. Like basically, it's a four-way. There's like four parties, and they all kind of like 13% of the vote isn't nothing. But this is the Puerto Rican Independence Party.
Enough of the opposition parties have enough power to basically block the leading party from just doing.
Yeah.
Like,
the New Progressive Party should probably be center to center right is an issue, but like I don't know what the hell Citizens Victory Movement is. Like,
who's that? Ana Irma
Rivera Lazen, the first black woman.
She seems okay.
And first black woman, third female, and head
it's
the organization.
A woman. You know how I
she's
feel
openly
about
lesbian.
That's generally
openly lesbian.
A lesbian woman.
Citizens.
So yes,
let's look into this party.
like
Citizens Victory
right.
Movement. When are they founded? They were founded in 2019, so they're a new party. What are their? I don't know their like positions and stuff as a party. Now they seem to be more leaning towards independence, which I don't know how I feel about Puerto Rico being independent.
Open up. Second one from the bottom.
And an assembly held at 7 and party was founded. The ceremony was moderated by. Attended, received, documented. Okay, at ceremony, held a press conference. The idea of a wasted vote with the very latest thing. A vote for MVZ is a vote for the future of Puerto Rico, and this movement, the action counts, not the reaction. And it's founding yeah. Well, the thing with Puerto Rican independence is that it would kind of lead Puerto Rico to become really, really in a rough spot because it's an island in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And if you look at the other island nations of the Caribbean, the best one that has the best quality of life is Cuba, and that's because it's the biggest island.
Yeah, but also
And also
because,
Cuba's been
like,
embargoed.
they do make they
Cuba
do
has a
make
huge industry.
economic decisions differently.
And
Cuba
then
makes economic
the Dominican Republic is the second best like place to
Yeah.
live. And then all the other ones are either like rich people islands or Haiti. You know?
But here's the thing, right? Like, does it make sense for Puerto Rico to be a state?
Yeah, I think so. There's no reason why it shouldn't be a state. The only reason why it's not a state is because it would be a Democrat state.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that the sort of ruling cultural ideology of the United States right now
Yeah.
would make life worse for them, not better.
As of now, yeah, but like under Obama, no, they would have been if they gave him a state under Obama.
No, but Obama's
yeah.
a while ago now.
Yeah, I know, but like even under Biden, like the situation
Yeah,
we're
but
in
under
now,
Biden-
the situation we're in now, it would be bad for them to become a state, but it's also bad for them to remain how they are now. Like if we're talking
Biden
in like the
was too
abstract,
busy- the whole Biden like administration was so busy fighting badly against Trumpism.
yeah, I hope Puerto Rico has something
Like
good
you
happen to them
had
soon.
people like Marjorie Taylor Greene in your politics.
We still do.
Under Biden. Yeah, but under Biden.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't like every day was an uphill battle just to maintain fucking peace.
One thing about the Republicans I never understood is they always called themselves the grand old party, but the Democrats are older. Like
They believe in the old ideals, you see. That's the difference. It's not about fact, it's about your feelings. Wait a minute. I've heard this one before.
yeah, what is this? Fuck is this? What is this? What am I looking at? Political parties' derivation in the United States. A dotted line denotes the unofficial connection. Federalist Alexander Hamilton. Refuge in the Democratic Republicans. National Republicans go into Henry Clay, who's a Whig, goes into Republicans. Liberty and free soil. Yeah, but like in the 2010s, there shouldn't be more that happens after this. Like whatever.
Because
Yeah.
they're separating
I don't know. It's a weird graph. Yeah, the Democrats are an old party. Andrew Jackson was a Democrat who was Trump's favorite president because he did the Indian Removal Act. Anyway, it's becoming one of those episodes where we just look at Wikipedia.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's one of the signs.
Yeah. That's the danger of the
run
internet.
out of like actual.
We just talked
It is the
about politics today. I like talking about South Africa's
Well, I mean,
politics.
That's what we are changing it up a little bit, but it is still topical and relevant because now they're your problem, right? Like that's the
They're
that's
my
at
problem
least
now.
my feeling of it. Because
I hope we get
there
like
are-
I
there
honestly
was a
hope
tweet.
I honestly hope we get like 100,000 Afrikaner refugees suddenly flood into the country. That'd be the funniest thing ever, and I hope they all live in Idaho.
So there was a tweet in South Africa here that went viral. Now you know I'm not on Twitter. I got this from like
Yeah.
the news stuff that I follow. But apparently somebody tweeted that the people who went over to the USA now, these 49 apparently people,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be allowed back in South Africa.
Send them to Israel. Send them
Like
to Australia or
if
something.
America if they want to like come visit family or something, you know, like they shouldn't be allowed back. They shouldn't be allowed a visa.
Nah, I don't
And here's the thing. A lot of black South Africans offered to invite him to a braai, a barbecue. But here's the other side of it, right? Little interesting fact for the end of the episode.
Yeah.
According to the law in the US, now this is US federal law.
Yeah.
If you apply for refugee status and you return to the country that you're quote unquote fleeing from, you basically automatically lose your refugee status
Yeah, that makes
because the
sense.
government basically goes,
You're fine.
what were you running from if you're back there
Exactly.
now
Exactly.
by choice?
They've literally
Or, like,
abandoned. They've
you're fine
literally.
there now.
They've literally abandoned their families. Like, that's so funny. They've abandoned literally everything because they were so racist. Like, it's not like they're like immigrants being taken in. They're refugees.
Yeah.
Like
They're
Syria.
being taken in under the Refugee Act.
Yeah. They're
Not
refugees.
the Immigrant Act. Because you see, the Immigrant Act is to throw out brown people, and the Refugee Act is to bring in white people.
I'm surprised they're calling them refugees and not like expats or something. Because normally they call like white people who flee a country like expats.
Well, I mean, in the case of, as far as I understand for expats, it's that you voluntarily gave up the citizenship of your own country, so you are an expatriate of that country.
But I always the real term of expat though
the
is
refugee thing
to
is
have
like,
a
I'd go back to. Remember, the refugee thing is the understanding that if things went
go
your
back.
way,
Yeah, you go back.
you go back.
Yeah. The thing with expat though is it's a term for white people, so they don't have to call white people immigrants. Like when Americans go and like immigrate to like Dubai or something, they say expats.
Yeah,
they don't want to say immigrant. That's
why
expat exists.
It's all about separating otherism. But that's the little factoid for the end of the episode.
Yeah. Here's another factoid for the end of the episode. I love the color purple. That's a factoid. Why aren't you saying anything?
Because if you want, you could also like do the YouTube thing.
Oh yes.
Hit that like button.
Yeah. Make sure you go to the Patreon, check out the Patreon,
channel.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, like it, comment your favorite second. Only the second. You can't say like a little bit. You just have to say your favorite second.
Why don't you tell us the games that came out the year you were born?
That's a fun one.
Tell us the games that came out the year you were born.
Tell us your favorite criminal South African presidential candidate.
Politician.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.